Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show, fair but firm, with the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez and co-host John Zamel for all of Las Vegas. Come on, guys, let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez, fair but firm.
Hey, welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. Here with my co-host John Zimmel. John, we having a good weekend coming up with
man, boxing's back, baby. I'm excited.
Oh man, but this past weekend we had some good fights.
Yes, it was. That's what I'm saying, man. This whole year has been
Shawn
good.
Porter and Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas was a good fight. I mean, he put up a hell of a fight. A lot of fans thought he pulled it out.
Yeah, what you think?
I myself thought, it could have gone either way. I could live with a draw, but I mean, Ugas really came to fight.
I agree with you.
I took this fight. I had a different prediction of the styles that were going to happen. I thought Shawn Porter going to come in like
Shawn Porter?
Yeah, I thought he going to come in like more of a pit bull, more aggressive,
like he normally does.
Putting the pressure, and it didn't happen. It was Ugas who was chasing Porter around the ring.
Was that strange? What did you take from that? Was seeing Yordenis Ugas be the aggressor against Shawn Porter, watching Shawn Porter fight on the back foot and try and outbox this Cuban. I don't. What did you take away from it? It seemed bizarre to me the entire fight.
Yeah, I find it kind of odd that Shawn would fight the way he did, because I thought that Ugas, being that he has the height, he got to be the boxer on the outside. I didn't like when Ugas was going down.
Yeah, like he's trying to see at his level.
He was the same level as Shawn Porter. Well, you got the height advantage. Stay up there, stay on the top, and box from the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't see Muhammad Ali going down to the level of Joe Frazier.
No.
To stay in there face to face with him.
He wanted to make it fair.
Ali used his advantage, his height and reach, and kept it, if he throws a punch at you, you can get away much quicker from a distance than if you were up close. If you're up close, the guy throws a punch, you got liable to get hit quicker. If you're back here, he throws a punch, you see it coming, you can get away. But anyway, that's the way that Ugas felt he should fight. But I thought that Ugas put up a good fight.
So did I.
His stocks went up.
I agree.
His stocks didn't go down. He stayed up there.
And he's in PBC, which has a million good welterweights. He has a lot of good chances to make a lot of good fights on that way. Here's something that I have a question about. Before this fight, outside of style, right? Because we did just say that surprised us, the style. But we knew Shawn Porter was a flawed welterweight champion. He was a guy who could make a lot of people's nights really hard, but he also wasn't perfect. And maybe at that top A+ level isn't bringing it against those guys. We knew that Yordenis Ugas was an excellent, competition for him. We knew that he's maybe a B-level welterweight in today's world. Did we learn anything from the fight today, or did we come out kind of seeing exactly what we thought we were going to see?
Well, I thought, we saw a different fight than expected, because I thought...
style-wise.
Yeah, style-wise.
Of course.
That's what, I mean, they both put up a good fight, but I thought that Porter should have been more aggressive and cut the angles. He should have cut the ring off a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
But he couldn't, because it was him that was running. So how can you cut the angle? You can't cut the ring off on the opponent.
On yourself.
If you're running.
Paint yourself in a corner?
Yeah, I was surprised to see Shawn fight that type of fight.
Me too.
I know his father wanted him to box more. Why not? That's good. That's good once in a while, but not the whole fight. He was on the distance. And in the eyes of some of the judges and some of the fans, they felt like, wow, it looks like maybe for effective aggressiveness, you got to give it to Ugas.
Shawn Porter became the IBF and WBC, at different times, welterweight champion of the world by fighting his style. He has a very pressure-packed style. He'll paint you in a corner, he'll use his angles really well, and he will just constantly throw volume at you, and he'll throw his whole body into it. He's not a big power puncher, but he's gonna pressure you hard. I don't understand why at this stage, against maybe a superior boxer puncher in Yordenis Ugas, he would try and fight off his back foot and be a guy who, hit and don't get hit. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the narrative, and I don't understand why he would do it.
In boxing, sometimes you're going with plan A, but then once you start feeling the power of the guy's punches, you say, wait a minute, I got to change my style a little bit. You can't be as aggressive.
You think he didn't come in with that plan? You think he altered to it?
He might have altered to it.
You think the power might have scared him off a little bit?
He might have felt some power of Ugas. Ugas is very powerful.
Yes.
And I remember back in 2017 while they were sparring, I was there at Shawn Porter's gym, and there was a little pressure on Ugas, putting the pressure on. And I wonder if that brought back a flashback.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, you remember when you were
of the way that they trained. And Ugas could definitely punch. He's a dangerous fighter, and he's going to be one of the top ones in the welterweight division.
I agree, and he's in PBC, which, like I said before, has everyone but Terrence Crawford as far as the champs go. They got Keith Thurman, they got Manny Pacquiao, they have obviously Errol Spence. They got everybody in that stable. So if he wants to keep, I mean, this might be the last title shot he gets, but he can very easily get another profitable shot against Danny Garcia, against a lot of other guys. Yordenis Ugas proved that he's worth the price of admission, and I was happy to see him go out there and put on a show. Man.
I don't know if some of these promoters would have risked their fight.
I wouldn't.
They're champions against Ugas. Ugas could take any one of those guys at any given time.
But most of them, yeah. How did we learn anything about Shawn Porter? Is he as good as we thought he was?
Well, he's good. He's a good fighter, no question about it.
Obviously, yeah.
I think that the weight, having a weight problem, might have had a difference.
Well, yeah.
It could have been an effect.
He started before the weigh-in. His head looked like me, and after the weigh-in, his head looked like you.
Yeah, he had to trim off a couple of ounces off his hair.
Trim off some pounds of hair weight.
Yeah, he had to make weight, and he made it, but that could take a lot. I said it before the fight. That could definitely have an effect on you.
Like Samson in the Bible.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, you know. You take off your hair, you get weak, you know.
That's what they say.
But I'm not
Delilah,
weak.
not you. No.
I'm not weak, though.
No, you're all eyebrows. You don't need that. No, not you.
I'm going to start letting my eyebrows grow a little bit more
grow out.
and put them on.
Until you got to make weight, though.
Yeah.
Then you got to worry about that.
Oh, man. Yeah, again. I'm making a comeback, so I got to be careful. Come back in the ring as a fighter. Not as a ref.
No, you've done all that.
With all that money out there, I'm coming back, guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. Did you? How about any of the undercards? Did you like any of those? We had some good ones.
The undercard, they was pretty decent. It was a 10-rounder before that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty decent. These two Mexican warriors came to fight.
They looked good.
Santana was one, and I forgot the name of the other fellow, but it was a good fight and a pretty. Let's go back to the Porter and Ugas fight. As far as
the main event.
As far as the decision is concerned, we're not finished with that yet.
No.
The decision was a split decision.
That's the big one, baby.
One of the judges saw Ugas winning with no problem. The other judges had Porter winning, and you got to say to yourself, what happened there? I always say, fans, until we raise the position of the judges, you can't score what you don't see. They're sitting down here, understand the position here, the referee's in the way, the rope's in the way, the light's in the way. Raise them up high, looking down, you're going to see all the punches. You don't miss anything.
Way better visibility.
That's why they do it in tennis. And I keep repeating that.
Especially with a fighter like Shawn Porter. Now, when was the last time Shawn Porter cleanly beat somebody? Maybe Paulie Malignaggi? Maybe Andre Berto? But normally, when he fight Danny Garcia, it was controversial. When he beats when he beat Ugas, it's controversial. When he lost to Keith Thurman, it's controversial. He's a messy fighter. He likes to keep it sloppy. It doesn't mean, I don't mean sloppy in a bad way, but he throws a lot of volume. And so you can't always tell what lands. And when you have judges who can't quite see the angles, all they see is a lot of volume, you're going to end up scoring towards the A side. You do that all the time. It happens all the time. And we see it, especially with a fighter like Porter. And you've been preaching this forever. You got to raise the position of the judges if you want to have more accurate spots. Now, my question is, how do we get such wide scores? On one side, 117, 111. On the other side, 114, 118, or whatever they were. How does that happen in a fight that was so close?
Because they got different angles. The judges are not all sitting together. You viewers out there don't know. I'm just going to educate you a little bit as far as positioning of the judges. They're not all three sitting together. They're different sides of the ring. But of course, when you're sitting there like this and trying to see two fighters, first of all, when they're on top of you, all you see is their legs right here in front of you. You got to be looking up to see. And you can't see if they're getting hit with punches or they're missing punches.
Yeah.
Are they getting away from punches? Sometimes a fighter throws a punch and you kind of go with the punch and actually miss you, but from back there it looked like he hit me with a punch.
Yeah.
So it's not fair for the fighter who uses good defense and slipped a punch by just slipping it, and actually the punch went over. He didn't get hit. It went.
We can't see till
But it looks back there like he got hit with a shot. But if you're on the top, you definitely can see that he did not get hit. So that's what makes the difference in scoring the fight. And until that position of the judges, when that changes, that's when you see all the controversial decisions stop.
Well, let's hope so. Well, let's ask this one then. How'd you score it?
Well, I thought Ugas pulled it out by at least a round or 2 rounds.
Do you see it as a robbery or just a close?
No. I can't say a robbery. It was that kind of a fight. It was very hard to score, very tight, close rounds.
It's a close fight. Close fights are tough.
I was waiting for the last 10 seconds of some of these rounds. I'm watching on television where I got a better view because
Isn't that a shame?
The angle of the cameras are much better. And sometimes I wonder if the judges should be put in the room in the back
I wonder that
of the
too.
arena on the big screen. Let them sit back there. They don't hear the crowd.
Eat
And
some popcorn.
they can see the angles for the cameras looking down at the fighters. Because a lot of punches were thrown that were missed.
So not a robbery, but you scored it the other way.
Yes, I
and
did.
I think fans these days are too quick to scream robbery, especially in this fight. I didn't see it as a robbery. It was a close fight.
It was close.
They went to the champion. That's nothing that's new in boxing or bad.
It could have been a draw.
Could have been the other way too.
I mean, it was a split. So, I mean, that's what happens when you have a close fight and punches being thrown. I mean, Shawn Porter threw about 50 or 60 punches.
And he landed more, too.
More at the end. If you see the total stats at the end, he did land more harder blows. Ugas hit the most body punches.
Undeniably.
What delivered by Ugas. But judges sometimes don't see them as much as they do the punches to the head.
How much longer do you see Shawn Porter hanging on to this belt?
Well, Shawn Porter is going to have some difficulties there because he was exposed a little bit Saturday night. Get some other champions out there say, you know what, I can beat this guy the way he fought tonight. I can beat him. And Keith Thurman was probably licking his chops.
That's what I was going to I was going to go down the list. Keith Thurman, who do you think wins in that fight in a rematch?
Well, you know, if they fight the way they both fought the last performance.
Jeez, I know. The fans definitely don't win.
Yeah, you know, so Keith Thurman is going to be winning.
What about Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao's another one. He stands a good chance.
I think Manny Pacquiao can beat Shawn Porter, too.
I think Shawn Porter should take a shot at Manny Pacquiao because that's where he's going to make some money.
Get that payday.
Yeah, get that big payday. Anybody who fights Pacquiao.
When you have the belt, why wouldn't you?
That's right.
That's the reason why Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter, they would love to be the quote-unquote A-side against Manny Pacquiao, the second biggest pay-per-view star ever.
You know, that's why I'm coming back.
You gonna come back?
That big money that's out there.
Put them on.
Let me get these gloves
Welterweight?
on. I want to put these belts around my.
You're gonna look good.
I want to
That
put
looks
these.
good,
I want to
bro.
put these belts on. I mean,
You should.
I want to win the title.
There's a reason these are worth something, man. These are worth a lot, baby, and you know it. You know how hard it is. I mean, that's the way this is, gang. That's the way that this goes. You have to decisively beat most champions. It's hard to take someone's championship. That's why they treasure this so much, because they had to take it from somebody. They didn't go out there and win it. They beat somebody for it. And that's why it means so much. That's why they hang on to it so dearly, and that's why it's so hard to pry away from them.
You know, some of you fans up there wondering, now that I picked up the belt, you see the WBC belt.
That's a beautiful
and
thing.
You say, who's
Now, what weight class are you, Joe?
right now?
What belt is that?
I'm coming to 165. I want to be a super middleweight, 168. Anyway, the pictures on here: Jose Sulaiman, you got Muhammad Ali, you got Joe Cortez,
I know that guy.
and my real champion, my real true champion, her name is Cindy, my daughter Cindy, who's a quadriplegic from an auto accident 20 years ago, and she's like a real champion. She's a trooper. She never take the full count.
No.
She never got counted out. When they were counting 7, 8, she jumped up. She's in that wheelchair. She drives her car. She gets around. She does it all. She said, "Daddy, there's nothing wrong with me." That's why I had to put, in honor of her picture on this belt, because she is my champion.
And one of the nicest
She's the
human beings.
people's champion. And one of the nicest persons.
One of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I just want to share that with you guys.
Bro, hey, I'll tell you something. I think you could take Rocky Fielding at 168.
What, Rocky Fielding?
I think you got him.
That punching bag?
Yeah, punching bag.
Man, okay, give me a better opponent.
He doesn't have. Well, I'm just thinking of 168. I don't know about like Callum Smith. He's a tough one.
I'll take him.
You think Callum
Yeah,
too?
168.
You heard it here for Joe Cortez calling him out. All of them.
I'm
Everyone
coming
at
out.
168.
I'm coming out. Hey guys,
Hey, let's get to the undercards. We had some undercards. We had, you already touched on that brief one. We had F.A. Ajagba. He came out and
the heavyweight.
Heavyweight prospect. He fought Amir Mansour. He quit on his stool after the second round. Did you learn anything from F.A.?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that fighter Mansour should not be in the ring.
Yeah, he's like 46 years old, dude.
Come on, this guy should not even be fighting.
No, he shouldn't be.
I mean, Ray Charles could have beat this guy in the ring. You know, I mean,
but we said the same thing the week before about Bermain Stavern against Joe Joyce. Bermain Stavern is, yes, a former WBC heavyweight champion in the world, but he shouldn't have been fighting either. He was 277 pounds or whatever he weighed. He shouldn't have been in there either. And we were able to make we were able to talk about what we saw in Joe Joyce against this punching bag.
Okay, but just because the guy weighed 277 doesn't mean he doesn't belong in the ring.
Nah, but
I mean, you talk about Butterbean.
yeah,
Butterbean was like 325 pounds, a 300 pounder going into the ring every time he was in, just about. And Butterbean was a crowd pleaser, and he was bumping off these guys left and right.
Yeah,
you know?
no, he was. You're right. Butterbean was.
You guys remember Butterbean and the Errol Mike Tyson? He'll be fighting on the other card.
Always.
A big fight. He looked like a big old.
Yeah, he did.
Fat.
He did look like a big old fat.
Oh my God! But he was like a guy. I had to referee several times. I had to make sure I got.
How did you two fit in the ring together?
Well, I'll tell you, I had to make sure I moved out of the way. I yelled my commands from a distance.
Yeah. You have to.
He throw his big haymakers. I would make sure I didn't get clocked
That would hurt
by
so
one of those
bad,
punches.
dude. That would not feel good getting hit by him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny. There was also a DAZN card. Dimitri Bivol and Maurice Hooker fought on it, I believe.
Maurice Hooker.
And yeah, they both won. They both kept their belts. Congratulations to both of them. We don't really have time to touch on them this week, but we do, because it's an exciting story. We can talk about this guy, Israel Madrimov. He's fought 2 fights now professionally. His last fight this weekend was refereed by a friend of the show, Benji Esteves. And his first fight was a 10-rounder, very unconventional. His second fight this weekend was a 10-rounder against Frank Rojas, who was 24-2 with 23 knockouts. This is not a pushover, and he absolutely knocked his lights out in the second round. He's calling out Jaime Munguia for a title shot in the third. We saw this at the lower weight class with Vasily Lomachenko.
With 2 fights.
Yeah, with 2. A third fight was going for the or second. Actually, you're right, with against Salido, and he won it in the third. Do you think this is good for boxing, guys with big amateur pedigrees coming out and fighting early?
You know, take a shot at, take a shot. I remember back in the old days, Pete Rademacher, heavyweight for Olympic champion, fought Floyd Patterson. His first pro fight was for the title, and he had Patterson down. Patterson ended up stopping him, but I mean, sometimes you get these guys.
It's like the NBA. If you're ready to play, you're ready to play, right?
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter how long you've been
these
fighting.
guys, if they have a good record in the amateur, they have their household names. People will buy the tickets, and so the promoter said, "Go for them." But before we go, I want to say condolences for George Foreman, his family. His daughter was found she passed away this weekend at the age of 42.
Former fighter herself.
Former fighter. So she had about 7 pro fights, and you had
and Caleb Plant's mother, who was shot and killed this weekend.
Caleb Plant, the super middleweight champion of the world, who just won the title last month.
Yes.
And
against Uzkastegi, and he's been on your show, and his mother was shot by the police. We don't know all the details, but either way, after all he's been through, and it's been well chronicled, his losses and his trials and tribulations, we want to send big condolence from our family to the Foreman family and the Plant family for all that you guys are going through. We're very sorry about that, and the boxing world weeps for you.
Yeah, we should do a prayer to you, George. You're a good friend, and Caleb Plant, man, we'll talk to you soon, okay, guys? Take care, God bless.
Anyway, let's move on to the main event, baby.
Yeah, go ahead.
The big show this weekend.
This week, hey, fans, this weekend, the fight we've all been waiting for. We're talking about 2 fighters, 2 super champions, but 2 different weight classes. And Mikey Garcia is a great champion. I think, 4th division champion?
4th division champion.
And he's going up 2 weight classes to challenge perhaps the best in the welterweight division, Errol Spence Jr. Now, Errol Spence Jr. is one of the better fighters at southpaw.
Yeah.
Good body puncher.
Huge body puncher.
And he's probably going to try to go for Mikey Garcia's body. You figure kill the body, the head dies, because Mikey Garcia has great defense. He has more speed than Errol Spence Jr.
He's got more of a lot of things.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have...
And he has the experience. That's what he got going into it. And I made a little prediction as far as experience is concerned. Mikey Garcia has a lot more experience than Errol Spence Jr., and that could be the big difference in this fight. The speed, he's a lot shorter.
Timing.
Yeah, timing. And I think Mikey Garcia can get under Errol Spence's punches. If he gets under his punches and work his way inside and work to the body himself and combinations to the head, I think that the more aggressive of the 2 and the more punches landed will be, I'd say throw 3, 4, 5 punches in a row. Even if you only connect 2, it looks good to the eyes of the judges and the fans. Don't just throw 1 or 2. You got to throw 3, 4, and 5 punch combination, and you'd be surprised how sometimes at the end of the bell, when the bell sounds, the judges say, well, it's kind of close round, but this guy threw so many more punches. So I'm going to go for the fighter who threw most punches.
Happens a lot. It really comes down to a question of how long can Mikey Garcia sustain the power of Errol Spence? How good is his chin? How well can he defend until, while he tries to get points on him himself? And that's really the question here. Before we continue, I just want to, this is the last time that I'll be able to address this camera, this show, before we find out the results of that. And I want to congratulate and thank Mikey Garcia before win, lose, or draw, anything happens, for putting on this show, for doing what he's doing. This is a man who's 39-0, who's already a 4-weight world champion. This is a guy who is going to be in the Hall of Fame no matter what happens after this. He had nothing to prove to me and nothing to prove to you. He wanted to do this for himself. How many of us out there can ever say that we've truly tested ourselves, truly to the limit of where we've risked life, limb, liver, like he is, and legacy, to really test ourselves against somebody the caliber that can really hurt us and really see what we're made of. This is something I'm so enthralled in. I'm so excited for Mikey Garcia and so excited for the sport of boxing that we get to see someone like this truly test their mettle against the best. And it's what makes this sport beautiful.
Well, as a former fighter myself and a former referee, been in there some of the great ones of all times in the last 3.5 decades, I can attest to that, what John is just saying. But I can tell you, no better feeling knowing that I was a referee, being a fighter, to see such a competitive fighter like Mikey Garcia, who has the skills, has the speed, has the ring mechanics, all that it takes to be a great champion.
And the drive.
He was good when he was a preliminary contender, but now he's a great champion. The big difference when you say good and great. He's a great fighter because he's a great champion, has proven himself worldwide that he's unbeatable. With 30 big knockouts out of those 39 wins, I mean, it says a lot about him. He has a lot of style. He has a lot of charisma about him. He's bilingual. He speaks very well both languages. He carries himself like a champion outside the ring as well as he does inside the ring. So I got to say, Mikey Garcia, I take my hat off to you for your performance and for your skills and for your kindness that you are. A lot of people don't know the things you do behind the scenes that you do in your community with the kids, but I know about that. So keep up the good work, and we wish you the best of luck Saturday night.
I couldn't agree more, man. I mean, I'm so excited. And a lot of attention has been placed on Mikey, and for good reason in this fight. But let's not forget, Errol Spence is outstanding. Errol Spence is 24-0 with 21 knockouts, and there's a reason why people won't touch him.
Right.
He is big, he's scary, he's dangerous, he's smooth, he speaks well. He is everything that a boxing superstar is made to be. And right now, he's got to put his legacy on the line against a guy who's jumping 2 weight classes to test his legacy. Now, let me ask you this one. Mikey Garcia, is he already a Hall of Famer?
He's definitely a candidate for the Hall of Fame because he has all the credentials. His record speaks for itself.
I couldn't agree more. If he wins this fight, is he your #1 pound for pound?
I would say that he would definitely be up there, probably next to Lomachenko. Mm-hmm. I mean, Lomachenko and Crawford, I consider pound for pound. Even Errol Spence.
They are considered it.
But I would say maybe pound for pound, #1, #2. I want to put back.
If he beats Spence, yeah.
He beats Spence, I gotta say, he's up there. Because
would you consider him an all-time great if he beats Spence? Now, this is not a ranking. This is not a top 10. I'm not asking for anything. But would you consider him an all-time great or potentially an all-time great if he beats Errol Spence?
I say potentially all-time great. He's still got to prove to me a little bit more, but he got to get through that welterweight division.
What a huge test,
If he becomes welterweight champion, let's see what he can do there. Can he hold on to that belt and defend the championship? And if he does with a couple of great ones that are out there in that mix, there's a bunch of good ones out there.
My God, at 147, yes.
Yeah, so if he beats a couple of those guys in there, he definitely is a potential great one, considered one of the great ones. Just like Manny Pacquiao. I mean, people are talking about Mikey Garcia.
Fight Manny Pacquiao.
Talking about Manny Pacquiao going up in weight. I mean, Manny Pacquiao was a bantamweight. Talking about Mikey Garcia from 126 champion to 130, 135, 140. I mean, not 140, skip it, 140.
No, he did 140 at one point. He beat Lipinets for the title.
Okay, that's right. So anyway, now here he's a fighter that started at 126. Remember, Manny Pacquiao became the super welterweight champ 154. And Manny Pacquiao did it. Manny Pacquiao came from a 118-pound division. He goes all the way up. So Mikey Garcia started at 126, going up to 30, 35, 40, now fighting at 47. So, it's doable. And Mikey has a good chance.
Yeah, he absolutely has a good chance. And it's as exciting as a fight as you could ever see. If you aren't hyped for it enough, then I'm not doing my job. This is a very big fight. This is a potential legacy maker. This is everything that makes boxing beautiful. This is it right here. This is not just about money. Either one of these dudes could have fought a ton of other people, including Manny Pacquiao, for just as much or a lot more money. This is not about politics, as so many fights these days are. This is about legacy. This is about pride. This is about passion. This is about everything that makes boxing beautiful.
And this is about you fans out there as well. Mm-hmm. You fans are the ones that really deserve something good in boxing.
Yes.
This coming Saturday night, I wish I was at ringside calling the shot. That would be the color commentator. Mm-hmm. There'd be a night of action. There'd be back and forth. I think every second a punch will be thrown in that fight. It'd be kind of fight. I would say, this is like one of the great ones. So you're going to have a lot of people think that Mikey Garcia is the underdog because of the weight difference.
Because he's an underdog?
Yeah, but you know what? In my book, he's not the underdog.
No?
Either one of them is really could be the underdog because Mikey Garcia's got a lot more experience. Than Errol Spence Jr.
He's got a better resume too.
Yeah, he got a better resume. So
he's just 2 weight classes below.
And the people say, well, we're going to get Errol Spence. He should be the favorite because he's a welter. He's
huge,
he's
yeah.
bigger. Doesn't mean nothing. I mean, you guys are big, tall fighters. I remember where Primo Canera was like 260 pounder,
Yeah, he's
like
huge.
6'7", and
Those pictures
and
are great.
Joe Louis and those guys are much smaller, and they were knocking these guys out. So that doesn't mean nothing when it comes to weight. The height difference is what you got here and what the punch, what kind of punch you got.
So what do you think next?
And if you don't have the right hand, if the right one will get you, the left one will. Simple as that.
So what's next for Mikey Garcia after this? If he wins this fight, he goes up to he should beat Canelo and then Anthony Joshua?
No. He's gonna fight at the welterweight division. He wants to beat a couple of these guys.
Unify a couple
He wants to fight Shawn Porter. He wants to fight Danny Garcia.
I think he can
Keith
take Shawn
Thurman.
Porter.
Take those guys, and then he goes up to fight
middleweight. Then he fights Canelo
at the super welterweight 154. And hey, can you imagine? Mikey Garcia, two great Mexicans fighting each other. Canelo Alvarez, that'd be a great fight.
My goodness.
Can you see that happen? That'd really be
Canelo would be so much better
an unbelievable dream fight.
Canelo's like twice his size.
Yeah, but
that would be crazy though. That'd be a beautiful thing, man.
No question about it.
That's exciting, man. And what's next for Errol Spence if he wins? He just continues on his journey, tries to unify the belts just like before, no difference?
Yeah, he wants.
What if he loses?
If he loses, he's still a contender.
Right? I mean, do we still see him as, I mean, obviously he's less than, but do we still see him at the top of the welterweight division?
Sure. I mean, Muhammad Ali, when he lost to Frazier, I mean, what happened to Ali?
Of course.
I mean, he was still great, became even greater after that loss to Ali.
Yes.
So, I mean, in boxing, you can lose a fight. Doesn't mean that you're a loser. You're only a loser when you quit.
Yes.
And these guys are not quitting. These are real fighters, So
You're absolutely right. It's exciting.
And the same thing in real life, man. You're always a champion as long as you don't quit. Keep giving all you got. Don't get put down. If you get put down by somebody, get back up before the 10 count. Get back up like a champion. Get back on your feet and keep going forward. Learn from mistakes. We all learn from mistakes. It only makes us better. It's a shame if you don't learn from your mistakes. And one thing you got to remember is don't bite that hand that feeds you. Always learn from the people that are helping you, getting you on the right track, making sure that they keep pushing you in the right direction. And that's what happens to some of these fighters. They got to listen to their trainers. Freddie Roach is a great trainer. Yeah. He listens to Manny Pacquiao listens to Freddie Roach. I mean, Freddie Roach stepped out for a while. Said, I'm not going to train Manny Pacquiao. They thought maybe that Manny Pacquiao had enough, and that maybe
wanted him to stop. Yeah.
That maybe you should stop fighting. Should be fighting anymore. But you know what? Here he is. He's still coming back and became a champion again. And he's
listening to your trainer is so underrated. That's one thing that people don't acknowledge enough about Floyd Mayweather. Despite his drive, despite his obviously natural athletic abilities, he was one of the most coachable athletes we've ever seen. Not just boxers, athletes. He listened to everything that Roger told him or his father, whoever was in that corner, and he made the adjustments necessary. Like you said, Manny Pacquiao did the same thing with Freddie Roach. That's one thing I love about Mikey Garcia is he listened to his brother Robert. They are a team. Every time you hear him talk about like the last fights, he says we. He doesn't say me. He's not alone in there. It's him and his team. And that's something you can't underrate, right?
Right. That's like our team here. It's we.
Exactly. Everyone involved. Which might as well. Shout out to Jackie Nunez out there. Shout out to Charlie Carrillo. Shout out to Delin Tadero. Shout out to Joe Cortez. Shout out to the entire Into Boxing team. Shout out to everyone else involved. Anyone I missed. Anyone, period. Because we appreciate this team and we appreciate being able to put on this show for you guys, especially in a week like this. This is why we do this, to talk about these big fights, to talk about the fun ones, man.
Fans out there, I can tell you that we have this show for boxing, but we also have some other shows. I have the Joe Cortez show on Tuesdays on Facebook, and that show comes on at 12 o'clock noon every Tuesday. And of course, we have a friend of ours. Her name is Jonathan Warren. He has the Liberal Archie Museum. Look at liberalarchie.org. Look on the site. If you want to come out to Las Vegas and go get a tour of the Liberal Archie Museum, see all the artifacts of Liberal Archie, was one of the great pianists of the yesteryears, but still remembered by so many today throughout the world. If you come out to Las Vegas, you want to go see that, get that tour at the Liberal Archie Museum, at liberalarchie.org, and you call there for bookings and for tours of the property. It's called Triller Villa. They call it Triller Villa because that was the last home that Michael Jackson lived in before he passed.
Thriller Villa. That sounds like boxing. Yeah. Like Thriller in Manila.
Yeah, Thriller in Manila. Like. Yeah. You're not going to get punched in this villa.
Well, let's hope not.
You're going to get a lot of thrills, but no punches.
No punches. That's good. And you know, Liberace, he talked Elvis into coming back to Vegas. Elvis came to Vegas one time. He got booed out because none of his fans were old enough to get in the stadium. So he said, I'm never going back to Vegas again. And Liberace, his friend, called him and said, hey, come back out to Vegas. And now he's a Las Vegas icon.
That's it.
A
Well,
little bit of trivia.
It is.
Hey, you know, you get it all on this show, as you know.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you watch us every week on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe to all of them. You don't have to just do one. Subscribe on SoundCloud. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe everywhere where you can find podcasts. We're there. Audio Boom, you name it.
And
make sure you...
Yeah, and go into the little bucket list. My bucket list is to become world champion again.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, so I want to see the contracts come about. I can start signing on those dotted lines and make sure that I get a. I want to fight back at 168.
I think you got him.
Or like I said,
what were we just talking about?
Keep your guards up at all time, protect yourself at all time, and remember, I'm fair but I'm firm. Be good, God bless you, and remember, don't bite the hands that feed you. We love you guys. Chance right here.